The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the QuestionPro webinar today. Today, we would be basically speaking about improving the response rate, the opening shots. My name is Harsha Deshpande. I'm the product manager of QuestionPro Incorporated, and today joining me would be Dr. P. Vignesh Vilausaran from IIT Delhi. Dr. Vignesh is the Director of Research of IIT Delhi, and he would be speaking to us about uh, how to, design a survey and, what is the basic, you know, options that needs to be carried out while, to get maximum number of responses to your survey. So I'll be, bringing on Dr. Vignesh online with us, and he will be speaking to us about improving the response rate. So, Dr. Vignesh, can you take forward?
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Vignesh,
I
you're
can hear
audible.
my.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. How do I
I'm just making you the presenter
share
right
my
now.
PPT?
1 second. All right, so Dr. Vignesh, you can start forward. Thank you.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
All right. So I'm in the slide number 1. This is. Thank you very much for inviting me. Today I'll be talking about improving the response rate, the opening shots. What is the agenda for the talk? I'll talk about the context. I'll talk about the importance. I'll give 2 examples which will explain to us why these opening lines are important for an online survey. I'll talk about the enhancers of response rate, the contents of the cover, what kind of stuff should be covered in the cover letter, and I'll give you the references. So these are the content I'm going to cover in next 30 minutes. All right. Am I clear? Okay. I hear a lot of echo. Hope it's not really echoing for people.
It doesn't seem to be. I mean, we can hear you out clear. So it
Oh,
seems to be
wonderful.
perfect. All right, great.
So I'll talk about the context now. This particular talk is focusing only on online survey. When somebody receives an email or you have a link to inviting you to participate in a survey, when you click on the link, what do you see in the first screen? So I'll try to focus more first on requesting through emails. When you receive an invite through an email for an online survey, what you are like to see as a respondent, right? There is also a possibility that you click on the link, it goes outside. Okay, you need to be slightly careful. Sometimes your respondents are not permitted to go to an external website. So what happens? They are not able to fill your survey. Under cover letters. Right. I need to. Over a period of time, I see many people using these online surveys. Okay, but it's also based on how many people are using this virtual medium. Right? It is also considered to be very easy. People perceive it easy to fill in an online survey. It is also easy for the researcher to send these details to or the invite to many people at the same time. Right? So there is also a need for
Dr. Vignesh, I'm so
improving the
sorry
low
to
response
interrupt
rate.
you. I think there's a bit of background
Yeah.
noise coming in, so it's been a bit unclear to hear out. Um, can you just put your mic a bit closer to your mouthpiece? So I mean, possibly it might help us out.
Just a minute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that seems to be perfect.
All right. So where should I begin? Right. I was talking about the importance. So over a period of time, online surveys are getting important. For the researchers, easy to send to many people. People are also finding it easy to fill it online at their convenience. And over a period of time, when the internet penetration increases, online surveys are going to be very, very important. And there is also a need for improving the low response rate. At present, our existing understanding says is less than only 2%. I sent out invitations to 100 people and I get a response for say 2% of people. Okay, this is considered to be good, but you can increase this response rate by having a better cover letter, better way of writing the invitations, and if, of course using a better software. Right? I'll start with two examples. Okay, one is a bad cover and a bad opening. So the invitation to fill in an online survey is bad. Okay, I overcome that. I overlook at it. I click on that link. Even the opening is bad. The second example is a good cover. When I click on it, I don't really get a good opening. I'll talk about these two examples. Okay, first is the bad cover. So if you look at this carefully, right, I have received this email, say in July. So if I look at one by one, okay, there is no subject. It doesn't tell me whether it's a spam or it's an invitation to participate in an online survey. So what's happening? A lot of times, this email goes to the spam directly. Okay, so you are not even talking about the incidence rate. We're talking about the eligible participants not even seeing your questionnaire or not even seeing your invitation. Second is from whom the email is coming. You look at this, it says research scholar 70 at the gmail.com. When I look at an invitation, I should be very clear who's sending that, even without me opening that email. Right? Now, now you look at the space between the header or where the line is starting. Okay, so it looks like a mass emailing. A lot of times, the respondent gets offended if you do not receive a professional email. Your research is good quality research. You also need to have a good quality invitation. Okay, so it says, dear colleague. The other side, you talk about Vignesh and evignesh at gmail.com, and you say, dear colleague. Okay, either you say, dear sir, ma'am, or you use the name directly here, of course with addressing with respect. Then it says one research scholar registered for PhD under my supervision. This is not exactly a right way of calling for or inviting people to fill in a survey. So what's happened? You also have a big link. If somebody wants to copy paste this, by mistake they did not copy paste the second line, it doesn't really go to the questionnaire. Okay. Overall, this questionnaire looks or appears to be bad, even me without looking at it, because the cover letter is so bad. So I will not even go to the questionnaire. I just look at the cover and I stop there. Right? So how do I really make these people to get into the questionnaire? Okay, beyond moving from the cover. Okay, so I'll show the questionnaire. So there is a bad cover. And there is a bad opening. So when I clicked on the link, this is what I see. Right, I see questionnaire on IPM management in WTO regime. Okay, now I read the cover, but I forgot about the content. Okay. So when I open this link, I do not remember anything. So ideally, I should have some amount of information should be repeated in display. So when I look at this questionnaire, right, I do not see any information about the study. Okay, it is badly constructed questionnaire. Okay, that's not really part of the talk today. But I'm focusing more on the cover and the first page. So when I look at this as a respondent, I don't really feel like filling this up. So what happens to the study? Obviously, the response rate is going to be very low. So how do I really improve the response rate? Right? I need to come up with a relatively better cover. So this next example is a good cover. Right? It comes from LinkedIn very clearly, but there is a small problem here. It's saying reply to, and the email is do not reply. That is the case. I am asking you to do certain things, but if you want me to say something, I'm not interested. Okay, this also will reduce the response rate. But when we compare to the last cover, this is relatively better. So it tells me, okay, dear so-and-so, thanks for being a member of so-and-so. Okay, we are doing a study. We would like to invite you to participate in the study. It says to understand the most important things in a job. Right? And it says, hey, your feedback is very important in helping company. So a respondent gets a feel, okay, he's an important person. I need to participate in this. So let me go ahead and do it. And it also tells me, okay, this invitation is only for 2 days, and it's going to take less time for you to fill it up. Right? And they say thank you in terms of say we appreciate your time. And it tells you from whom the email is coming, and there is a link given. All right. So when you compare to the good cover, the earlier cover, this cover seems to be better. So as a respondent, I kind of encouraged to go to this survey. So when I click on the survey, so I say click here to begin. What do I get? I get this page. Now it says that the cover said that we wanted to understand in the important things of the job. But when I look at this, basically they are trying to compare multiple set of companies here. If I do not belong to this IT industry, I would not have known any of this company. So what a respondent will do? One is Okay, they're not able to fill it up, so they close it. So the response rate is gone. Or the way you picked up your respondent to send this inmate may be wrong. Though I don't work in IT industry, I received this because I research about IT industry. So in online survey, you have this problem. There is a matching problem. There is an alignment problem. So because of that poor alignment, I'm not able to fill this up, or I'm not going to get adequate data here. Right now, so we saw two examples. One example is bad cover, bad opening, good cover, and bad opening. So what's happening here? They asked me to give my opinion about the important things in the job. Now they are asking me opinions about a company, which is kind of misleading. So if I do not keep up my words or do not spoil my trust, okay, with the respondent, what happens? The overall the response rate gets affected. How do I really improve them? Okay. How do I enhance the response rate? If I have an official sponsorship, okay, if I'm doing this survey for a thesis or for a company, for a government, say that very clearly. If I'm doing for a thesis, use my institute logo. If I'm doing for a company, use the company's logo. If I'm doing for the government, say it's from the government. So what happens when the people receive it, the invitation, they know, okay, you are doing something serious. I know it's coming from a company. Okay, whatever I'm saying makes a difference to people. They fill it up. The second one, the topic of the survey. People fill questionnaires if the topic of the survey is familiar. Okay, I know something about it, so let me go ahead and say that. Or the topic is related to them. Say that, okay, I'm part of this problem, so let me say something on. Third one is, I may not be familiar with this, I may not be related to us also, but I'm emotionally attached to this. There is a likelihood if you're emotionally attached, you are also familiar, you are also related. But in some cases, you are emotional, but not exactly related and familiar. But people fill survey. So you have a good cover, and the topic is good. People start filling the survey. Next is time to complete the survey. Shorter is better. Okay. In my cover letter, basically I need to say how much time this is going to take to complete the survey. All right. Next is the type of the population. Okay. Who are these respondents? Age. If I'm using a survey form that can be filled in using a mobile phone, okay, so my population should be using mobile phones extensively. Okay. Internet use. There are people who get to access the internet from 9 to 5 in their work or sometime in a weekend. There are people who use 24/7. So you need to see if I'm going to give 1 week's time, whether it's going to fit into people who's having 24/7 or 9 to 5 kind of access to internet. I'm also talking about time availability. They have access to internet, but they do not have time. Next is data safety and anonymity. Okay. When I fill this questionnaire, I should get this feel that my data is going to be safe. Right? Suppose if I use Google Forms, if I don't have a great opinion about Google, I will not fill Google Forms. And anonymity. When the invitation shows it is tailored to me and I'm going to monitor what you're writing. Sometimes when you send an invite, you also attach a token. Use that token, you open that online form. Some people don't like it. They say that the data that is given to you is not safe and there is no anonymity. So I don't want to fill it up. And there is an incentive. I fill this questionnaire. I'm spending 30 minutes. Do I get some incentive for it? Okay, either a movie ticket, or a cup of coffee, or some kind of satisfaction that I did really something good for us society. Some kind of incentive should be there. If it is not working out, I need to send this periodical reminders. I send 1 month in advance. Then after 2 weeks, I send a reminder. Then every third day, I send a reminder. If I have all these things in place, I'm going to enhance my response rate. Now, I pause a little. I can take few questions.
All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Vignesh. I was really excited about this, and I have a question for you. My first question is, how much do you think that the survey length affects the response rate?
Okay, if it is around 30 minutes and there is an incentive, people fill it. There is no incentive. You say that it will not take not even 10 minutes, then people fill it up.
Okay, I see.
So I construct a questionnaire,
Mm-hmm.
I do a pilot and see how much time it's taking. Okay, so 10 minutes free time it's okay, free work is okay. If it is more than 10 minutes, I need to think of incentive.
Okay. All right. So when you're talking about incentive, how do you think rewards would basically help out people to go and fill out surveys? I mean, now as on QuestionPro, we have a reward system like we can attach like coupons, gift cards, etc. Do you think this will actually help out
Yeah,
as well?
very much the incentive structure very much will help. You do not give cash. Let's say, for
Right.
example, for a student community, 100 rupees, if you're going to give them in cash, it's not really valuable. But you give them a coffee token for 100 bucks. I give a gift voucher.
Mm-hmm.
Using that voucher, I can get a cappuccino, a coffee. That seems to be much more valuable than the cash.
Right.
So I need to see what kind of people I'm dealing with, who are my respondents, and then
Okay.
accordingly I provide. If I have more number of women responded,
Mm-hmm.
then I think of a gift, a voucher that is more relevant to them, maybe Mindthrow.com.
All right. So actually, this question had come up from one of our listeners. It's from Professor Govindani from all the way from Gujarat. So also we have another question for you. Uh,
Yeah,
One second. How do we prevent our questionnaire from landing in the respondent's spam? I mean, is there something specific that you would recommend while writing this email?
okay. If it is more relevant, do not use BCC too much. Do not accumulate 20, 30 emails put together and send it. Try to use a professional mail sending application. And the language that is used has to be more personalized. Personalized in the sense, say that this email is coming from this institute for this research. You are selected scientifically. You're going to take only 10 minutes. Okay, so all these things if you put in, doesn't go to spam.
Okay, all right. The next question for you, sir, is how about if the respondents are senior faculty members? How would we basically incentivize a survey? I mean, so as you know, senior faculty members would be interested to go ahead and fill out the survey for us.
Okay. For a senior faculty member, what are the incentives? Maybe a gift voucher for the bookshop, right? Number one. Number two, in the cover letter, when you are writing, don't say, I'm doing a survey, please come and fill it up. You say
Okay,
that I'm looking forward for hearing your experiences, hearing your opinion on this matter. I'm looking for opportunities to learn from what you are sharing with us. So when a senior faculty member reads it, it's like I'm doing a favor by filling this up. Okay, not a study, not a online survey. It's more like a knowledge sharing. Right? So I need to construct my question in such a way that they should not get a feel they're filling a survey.
Okay, all right. So we have another question from Professor Shamim Mondal from Alliance University. He says that if we add in incentives to a survey, will that basically, affect, I mean, the quality of the responses that we are receiving? I mean, there might be, people who are just willing to go out and fill out the survey for rewards or something like that. But, it might not be, specific to the study itself. So do you think that would have a vice versa effect on to the response or the quality of responses that you're receiving?
Okay. If somebody is filling it only for the sake of incentive, right? Either your incentive is too high, in the sense you are providing $1 million to fill a questionnaire to a faculty member, or you're paying some 3,000 rupees to an undergraduate student. So incentive should be such a way that it's not easy money, but it's not too high. Okay, so when you set this incentive levels, you avoid a lot of invalid responses. Number one. Number two, if you look at the sample size, suppose if I have say 300 people, it is assumed that my sample is following normal distribution.
Okay.
When I have a normal distribution, there are two sets of outliers. The two sides of the outliers may be filling the survey for incentives. There are majority of the people sitting on the top of the bell curve are the real people. So even somebody is filling up for the sake of incentive, you are taking care if your sample size is slightly larger. The minimum requirement is 60. If it goes more than 300, it's definitely you are dealing with real people. It is more like in a classroom of 60, I give a teaching feedback form. Some students are very happy with me. Some students are not at all happy with me.
Hmm.
These are outliers. But majority of the students will fill the questionnaire about reflecting how I taught. So that is taken care of. So we don't have to really worry about people filling the questionnaire
Hmm.
for the sake of incentives.
Right. All right. So the next question for you, sir, is what is the right time in the day to send an email to the respondents? If it's to, the if the audience is basically
One is
from the Indian.
not, okay, I repeat the question. The question, what is the best time to send an email so that people can respond to it? It depends upon the population, right? If it is a say faculty member, say I would say 9:30, 10 o'clock is the time they open the PC, right? So before that, the email should reach. Okay, but if you send it previous night, the entire middle of the night, they also receive emails from various places. So
Mhm.
your email goes down. So ideal time can be 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Or you send an email the previous night, one day you leave it, next day you send an email morning 8:30, a reminder. That will help.
Okay. All right. So reminders really help out to get the, the better response rate as well, right?
Your voice is echoing, Harshad.
Uh, s- can you hear me better now?
I can hear you, but it's echoing.
Okay, one second.
Echoing.
All right. So, sir, the next question is, what is your opinion about giving a feedback to the respondent after they have filled out a survey and after the study has been completed?
Uh, Still I can hear. I'm hearing, but it's not clear. A lot of echo. You can
It's,
type in your.
so we have the question in the questionnaire box, so you can basically take it from there.
It's in the chat.
Yes, it's in the questions box.
Question box. I don't see the question.
Let me just reiterate the question for you, sir. What is
Yeah.
your opinion about giving a feedback to the respondents after the study has
Mm.
been completed?
Feedback in the sense
A
you're
general
sharing the
feedback.
data.
Yes, basically sharing a statistical report of the data that has been collected using the survey.
Okay. When a respondent is filling a survey, very few number of respondents are keen in understanding about the findings of the research. A lot of times as a researchers, we are very much delayed in giving the report back to them, and especially doing the academic research. So what you can do is you can put a one line at the end of the survey. Okay, if you are interested in knowing the findings of the study, please give your email. All right, I can just send a report when it's ready. Number one. Number two, you can also share frequency distributions of important question, saying that okay, you have after the end of the survey, you say that say 3 slides, saying that okay, this is the set of frequency distributions, very important. I'm willing to share to you. I'm glad to share with you. Okay, if immediately you are giving this response, right, saying that you are end to respond, thank you very much. That doesn't give a good feeling.
Right.
Right? You say thank you very much for valuable time. I'll
Exactly.
get back to you. Right? Or you give your details
Mhm.
in the cover, right, saying that if you're interested in knowing about it, please get back to me.
All right, great. So we can continue right now, and we'll take off the next
All right.
Q&A session at the end of the presentation.
Sure.
Thank you.
So I'm moving on to the what should be there in the good cover and as official logo. No matter what, where you're coming from, put an official logo in the cover. It makes a difference. Give the title of the study very clear. Okay, that's very important. Okay, everybody should be able to understand this. Greet people properly. Say it's an invitation. Give 2 lines of information on the study, what this study is all about, how it is important. Say that it's an informed consent. Okay, it's a voluntary. If you don't want to fill this up, it's okay. But it's a voluntary work you are doing. Promise them that I'll protect your identity and anonymity. It's going to be anonymous and your name is completely protected by me. You can feel free and give your opinion. And provide instructions how to fill it up, saying that if you click on this link, you'll go to another page, you will get the questionnaire and you fill it up. Or you say, just below this email, everything is there. You also say, what is the incentive? You do not say, I'm going to give you 200 rupees. You say, at the end of the survey, you will get a gift voucher worth, say, 200 or 250. Okay. Also, you say, it's not compensating your valuable time, but you say, it's a token of appreciation for our thanks. You provide contact detail if they want to come back to you. Right? In the sense, suppose I'm a researcher. If you want to know more about the research, contact me. These are the details: name, address, phone number, and email. Suppose you are not happy about the research and you are not happy about me, you want to complain about the research to some higher authority. That information also should be there in the cover letter. If you are unhappy with Dr. Vignesh, you can go to Dean. These are the Dean's contact details. So what happened? The respondent feels that this research is more authentic. Okay, so there is something serious. I need to spend time on, and you say thank you, and of course you have official contact detail. Okay, so is the title of the study, from where it's coming, along with the logo and official contact detail. Right? If you are able to meet all these contents in a cover letter, it increases your response rate. Right. Now there are a few other things as a researcher you need to take a call. Right? Should I really price the respondent? Saying the respondent, you are an esteemed person working in an esteemed institute, or straight say Professor Vignesh. Okay, on one hand you can say, Professor Vignesh, I'm glad to know you're working in an esteemed institute in IIT. Price a lot and request them to participate in the study. Or say, Professor so-and-so, please fill this up. You take a call. If your respondents like to get priced, price them or give straight. Second one is public good appeal. Say this research is important. It's going to be good for everybody. Okay, outcome of the research is going to benefit a lot of people. Right? You are doing some social work. Fill this up. Or I respect your time. You fill this up. I'll compensate it. Third one is personal cover. Sometimes when I receive an invite with a clear name addressed to me, I fill it up. Sometimes I prefer confidential. If the topic of the research is very sensitive, okay, I prefer confidential addressing. Say, dear sir or ma'am. If it is not, I ask for a personal addressing. Whether I should do a linked survey, right? I use an external device, create an online form, click on it, people go there, or attach that questionnaire as a part of the email. You take a call. If your questionnaire is too long, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, linked survey is better. Only 5 questions, small one. You can try attachment. But over a period of time, people do not have patience to open an attachment, fill it up, reattach it. It's not going to work out. These are the choices you can make. So what did I basically covered so far? I spoke about the importance of the online survey. I gave 2 examples. I spoke about enhances the response rate. I also spoke about what should be covered in the content, especially for the cover, and what are the choices you have as a researcher. If I want to know more about this, I can look at these 2 papers. These papers tells me what I can do to improve the response rate. Right? If you have any further questions, I'll be open.
All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Vignesh. We have a question. How do we increase the response rate if the respondents are tourists?
Mm, I need some more information.
Um, so, uh,
Say, for example,
mhm.
some Chinese guys are in India, or Indians are in China. You are conducting a survey on with them when they are in a different country, or what kind of people?
So we have this question from Shalki Manhas. Could you please elaborate your question in the chat window, and we'll come back to this question. We'll move on to the next question till then. The question is from Pooja Jha. She says, how to motivate university students to participate in the survey?
Right. Right. When I design a project, I also need to keep a little bit of money for incentives. Right. Incentives is two kinds. One is when I fill a questionnaire, I get the incentive immediately straight. Number one is there is a lottery. Out of all these people who filled in this question, two people are going to get iPad. So you give your email ID if you want to participate. Sometimes students get excited with iPad, not with coffee for each filling of a questionnaire. So incentives are a good scheme for the student. Okay. Apart from that, there should be certain level of authenticity in the cover letter. It should be from your email, and it should go to the student directly. And they want to know more about you. You have some information everywhere. Yeah, there is a portal where you have a portal. You share your information there, or a Facebook page. Okay, that kind of authenticity is built. Then it increases.
All right, great. So, referring back to the previous question from Shalki, she says that she's doing a research to collect the response rate from the tourists about the problems faced in a destination. How can she increase the response rate, and what would be the right time to mail them?
I would say it's the end of the day. End of the day, it's good,
Okay,
but I'm not sure whether these people go online to fill a survey.
right.
If it is a destination-based ones, suppose if you're talking about a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm checking out, I mean, there's a machine kept over there. So the person who is checking it out and says, "Could you please fill this up?"
Right.
Right? So the screen is there. Just the tourist goes there and fills it up.
Right. So
If you're
exactly, they
expecting them,
actually hold a kiosk or a kiosk located in hotels. Then we also have them. Some of the kiosks are located in events. Basically, people traveling at for specific events, they have kiosks where they can go and fill up surveys for events as well. Uh, so. As you said, sir, it seems that, time shouldn't be a concern over here because, people would rather prefer filling it up at, a specific point where they're actually involved during the travel or the event, basically, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And another time is after the event is over,
Mm-hmm.
or your visit is over, you've gone back. Okay, you give a gap of 2 days or one day. Tell them that we were very happy to have you there, and we were interested in understanding how did we do. Please fill this up. All right. So then next time when you come, you'll have a better experience.
All right, great. So we have the next question. We have it from Mr. Vijay Dhamore. The question is, what's your experience in the authenticity of the responses that you have received or you've got from email surveys?
I do not see much difference between offline survey and online survey. Both the surveys I need to clean it up. There are missing the data. There are half-filled data. I need to clean this up. Okay. In offline survey, when people put a tick, there's a
Hmm.
long tick. It covers 2-3 options. In online survey, sometimes people do not fill it up. People just keep on filling up in one option. I need to clean my data. I suppose I have collected data from 220 people. I should be mentally prepared to leave the 20. So 200 I'm going to have. So you get mentally prepared to eliminate a lot of people, basically who are waste, uh, who did not give adequate data. So you
Okay.
get prepared for it.
All right. So, any other questions? Uh, you can actually go ahead and post your questions in the questionnaire window and will be taken by us. All right, so we have a question. What should be the ideal length of the questionnaire to increase the response rate? How many questions should be designed on the questionnaire to have the maximum number of responses to your survey?
Okay. I would say rather than the length of the question, you say time, 10 minutes.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Ms. Pallavi Bhagat. All right. So moving to the next question. All right. Seems to be the all the questions that we have got. We have one coming in. 1 second.
Yeah. Hello.
Right. So how do we assure the authenticity for an employee satisfaction feedback survey?
Right. Whether it is done internally, if it is done internally,
Hmm.
you are sending the email only to the official email ID. Right? So they're not,
Right.
outsiders are not really filling it up. But if you are sending emails which are also involving a lot of email IDs which are not official email IDs, it's going to be very, very difficult to identify that. Authenticity cannot be checked.
Okay. All right. This question was from Kush Gupta. We wanted to, also inform you that, on QuestionPro, we have an option for anonymous respondents to basically go ahead and answer out a survey. So if you are designing a survey for employee satisfaction feedback, you can basically select the RAA link. That's basically for anonymous surveys, and the respondents who are filling out the surveys will not be tracked at all. All right, so let's move on to the next question. So the question is, can we take a particular template of questions as it is for a relevant study to collect the data, or do questions need to be modified, or specifically driven out to that particular study?
Okay, there is a lot of echo. I repeat the question. I see a questionnaire or an index or a scale in an existing study. Can I use it directly? Is that the question?
Yes, I mean, yeah, that is
Right.
exactly the question, right?
Yeah. Ideally, if the questionnaire is coming from a similar cultural context, right? Suppose I'm an Indian. I also play, say, online games with Europeans. So the lingo I use when I'm playing the games, irrespective of whether I'm European or Indian, is not different. So we use same lingo, same language. That is the case. I can use same questionnaire for both the places. But if the study is done in, say, in US, I want to do it in India, but the populations are different. I need to really check whether my respondents are understanding the questionnaire. If needed, I can tweak it a little bit.
All right, so let's move on to our next question. 1 second. Okay, so it seems to be the end of the questions that we have been receiving for today. So, uh, what we'll do is that we'll still have any of your pending questions answered. I'll quickly go ahead and change the screen over here to mine. Uh, Right. So all you can do here today is that you can go ahead and write back to us at webinar@questionpro.com. All your questions and queries should be clearly mentioned through an email, and we'll have Dr. Vignesh and myself go and review these questions, and we'll go ahead and reply to you through an email. so as all your queries can be clarified. Also, apart from that, moving on to the next few slides that we would like to show you is we have a competition which has been rolled out for the best response rate, and the details are shown over here. So we'll be giving out 1,000 rupees Flipkart coupon to the person who actually goes ahead and collects the maximum number of responses for a survey. So this will be live from today itself. So if you're a university user account, university student, you can basically go to questionpro.com/edu and directly sign up with your university account and start creating your surveys. All right. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and thank everyone of all of you to join us on this webinar, and a special thank you to our guest, Dr. Vignesh from IIT Delhi. It was really a pleasure to have you on board today on this webinar, sir. Thank you so much for your insights. I really think
Thank
today's
you.
webinar have given us a lot of things that we should actually go ahead and think about while designing our survey to collect the maximum number of responses. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.